John was dead. After what seemed like hours of sparring with his brother Michael, he had been backed onto a mossy cliff. He had looked below at the crashing waves, cursing himself for allowing his younger sibling to get the better of him. Michael had feigned to the left, catching him off guard, then, with a swift and sure hand, plunged his sword into John's stomach. There were several moments of writhing, followed by foaming blood at the mouth, before he finally perished. Michael crowed in delight, placing one foot on his enemy's corpse in a show of triumph. His sister Wendy rushed to his side and kissed him ever so gently on the cheek. "My hero," or some such phrase she no doubt crooned, but Michael was too tired from his battle to notice. Good had conquered evil, and all was right in the world. Suddenly, a hand wrapped around his ankle and pulled him down. Michael screamed in horror as the once lifeless body of his brother stood over him. The corpse spoke. "Why must I always die?" Michael exhaled with frustration. He sat up and threw his sword on the floor of the nursery beside him. "Because you're the pirate, and the pirate always dies." "Why does the pirate die?" "Because the pirate is bad." "I don't see how that's fair in the slightest," John said. "He's right, John," offered Wendy. "The pirate is the villain." "But must the pirate always be the villain? Let's play it again, and this time I don't want the pirate to die." Michael shook his head. "No, that won't do." "Why not? There are 3 of us, you know, and we're certainly not taking orders from the youngest, or the shortest." Michael hated when his brother pointed out his height. He balled his hand into a fist and punched his brother's arm. John recoiled, but came back with a slap on the top of Michael's head. It stung, and Michael felt tears forming behind his eyes. He ran screaming at John, his arms flailing. John was prepared and shoved him back across the room. Wendy stepped in. Boys, stop it." The 2 boys paused to look at their sister. "Now, Michael, I believe John has made a good point." John beamed. "Thank you, Wendy." "Not at all. The question is, how can we rearrange the story to prevent you from dying?" As Wendy and John discussed the finer details of play-acting dramaturgy, Michael went to his toy chest to swap his sword for a bow and arrow. When he looked up, he could have sworn that he saw someone standing at the nursery window. Gasping, he ran to the window and pressed his face against the glass. Nothing but the dark sky and the street lamps. He looked to the left, and he looked to the right, but still saw nothing. A green firefly flew by, the only movement in the minutes that he stood there. Michael wanted to open up the window and step out, but Father had always said never to do so without a grown-up present, and Wendy would have scolded him anyway. She was becoming more and more like Mother every day. Sighing, he pulled his face off the glass and returned to his brother and sister, never noticing the shadow of a little boy on the landing outside.